This is a presentation about professional learning communities, also known as PLCs, created by Paulaitis, Janelle Thompson, and Diane Flanery to fulfill course requirements for EdAdm 554, Leading School Reform. We firmly believe as future administrators that professional learning communities have the potential to be a promising effort to yield in positive gains in student learning. The guiding questions are, what do we want students to learn? How do we know they've learned it, and how will we respond if they experience difficulty? Dr. Richard Dufour, who successfully transformed Adlai E. Stevenson High School in Lincolnshire, Illinois, into what the U.S. Department of Education describes as the most recognized and celebrated school in America, encourages the use of 3 big ideas. The first big idea is ensuring that students learn. The core mission of PLCs is not simply to ensure students are taught, but to ensure that they learn. Profound changes can be realized if all involved view this as a promise rather than a cliche. Dufour's second big idea is a culture of collaboration that develops when teachers work together to analyze and improve their classroom practices. Teachers work in collaborative teams, engaging in an ongoing cycle of questions that promote deep team learning. The result of these discussions is a generation of products to improve learning. Focus on results is Dufour's third big idea. Working together to improve student achievement becomes the routine work of everyone in the school. The collaborative creation of formative assessment sets a foundation for tweaking teaching practices to enhance student learning. The concept of a professional learning community relies on the idea of improving student learning by improving teaching practices. Studies reviewed by Vesio, Ross, and Adams shows that participation in a learning community leads to changes in teaching practices. Current practice reveals that teachers spend a great deal of time on activities of limited value, such as test preparation or worksheets or things unrelated to learning goals. However, teachers involved in PLCs are more motivated to have student-centered classrooms driven by focusing a sharp lens on student learning. In a PLC culture, my students is replaced by our students. PLCs challenge the status quo by going beyond the cliche of all students can learn and instead makes a promise through hard work and collaboration that all students will learn. Improvement in student performance is at the center of PLC work. In studies reviewed by Vesio, there was evidence to suggest that schools that engaged in structured, sustained, and supported instructional decisions or discussions through PLCs produced significant gains in student learning. Through colleague discussions and research, concerns about implementation of PLCs have surfaced. Trust, time, the data-rich information poor effect, otherwise known as DRIP, and this too shall pass, have surfaced as leading areas of apprehension. In order for collaboration to translate to student learning, trust is essential. Studies show that there is a significant correlation between higher levels of engaged teachers who had higher levels of trust in colleagues. A culture of trust must be built before PLCs can be truly effective and student learning enhanced. Time must be found for collaboration teams to meet when implementing PLCs. Teachers may find this a hardship in a day filled with other commitments. Therefore, teachers must embrace the value of the PLC work of improving student learning, and the meetings must be efficient. Many school districts are currently drowning in data. When implementing PLCs, it is important that teams do not suffer from the DRIP syndrome, data-rich, information poor. Data must be understood by teachers and turn into useful and relevant information to address instructional practice. Teachers often wonder how long a new reform will last before a new one replaces it. To ensure that PLCs stay the course, participants must have a shared vision of what is to be accomplished, and it must be presented as a long-term change in culture. Initiatives that change culture require strong leadership and focus. As future administrators, we believe it is important to share what we feel are implications of administrators leading a building going through the process of implementing professional learning communities. Teachers involved in PLCs exhibit a reduction of isolation, shared responsibility for student success, greater job satisfaction, higher morale, and lower rates of absenteeism. These factors contribute to teacher satisfaction and helps administrators build a positive culture. Since the PLC culture centers on a shared vision, there is an increased commitment to the overall vision and goals of the school. All staff understands and embraces the ultimate goal of increasing student learning. This makes an administrator's job easier because all staff are working together on a shared vision. We believe that PLCs can be a powerful agent of reform to positively affect student learning. Keeping true to Dufour's big ideas will influence teaching practices towards the common goal of increased student learning. Administrators must work to create a culture of trust with a shared vision for the school district.